Good afternoon, students. Today in SST, we will go through chapter 17, that is winning freedom. This is not your post-periodic syllabus chapter. It is final exams chapter, but we are moving on. So I'll explain you about the Indian National Congress and partition of Bengal. So India's struggle for freedom from foreign rule was an important event of the 20th century. This freedom did not come easy, means it was not easy for us to achieve this freedom, and it was achieved by and it was not achieved by armed rebellion. That means we did not had war and all to achieve our freedom. Our independence was achieved in a unique way. First, it successfully tested the power of non-violence or ahimsa. We achieved our freedom with non-violence. We did not there was no violence in our achievement of freedom against the injustice of the British government. Second, it proved the futility of bloodshed. Means there was not bloodshed and all to achieve our freedom. Peaceful disobedience to the unjust demands and practices of the government could force the British to step back. And thirdly, it held that peaceful non-cooperation was the right of the people. Means if we are doing anything, we are protesting against the wrongful policies of the government. So non-cooperation movement is the right of all Indians. So many in India as well as in the British made fun of the leaders who followed this non-violence. Means the path of non-violence, they thought how could they achieve freedom with non-violence, without weapons and violence. So Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation and the pioneer of non-violence, means he was the one who started the non-violence movement. So first they ignore, what was he saying, that first they ignore you, then they ridicule you, then they fight you, and then you win. Means first they will ignore you, that what are you doing, it is not worth it. Then they will ridicule you, then they will disturb you, or they will force you, then they will fight with you, and then but ultimately finally you will win. However, a few incidents of violence did occur. There was some incidents of violence also during the freedom fight. Nonetheless, the Indian struggle of independence would always be remembered as a peaceful resistance to the colonial rule of the British government. Now let us study the course of the freedom struggle after the Great Revolt of 1857. That was in the 16th chapter. Now the Indian National Congress, when it was organized? It was organization formed in 1885 by a retired British bureaucrat named A.O. Hume. He was an Englishman and his name was A.O. Hume. He formed the Indian National Congress, and its aim was to give the educated India platform to engage in a dialogue with the British government. Means whatever problems the public had, they will inform the Congress party, and then they will go to the head, that is the British government, to solve the problem. So the British on their part wanted to pacify the Indian people and avoid any revolt. Means they did not want a revolt, so that is why they wanted this party to be made. The first session of the Indian National Congress took place in Bombay, that is now Mumbai. It was attended by 72 delegates. There were 72 members. So students, the Indian National Congress was an organization formed in 1885 by a retired British bureaucrat named A.O. Hume. He was an Englishman, and he formed the Indian National Congress with an aim to give the educated Indian a platform to engage in a dialogue. Means whatever the Indian problems the Indian people had, so they will go through the it will be informed to the English National Congress party, and this party will move on and have a dialogue with the British government. The British on their part wanted to pacify the Indian people and avoid any revolt in future. They didn't. Why did the British agreed for this party? Because they did not wanted any revolt in future, which was already done in 1857. So the first session of the Indian National Congress took place in Bombay, that is now Mumbai, and it was attended by 72 delegates. There were 72 members who attended this session, and in the beginning the members of the Congress were moderates. The leaders of the Congress were moderates. Moderates means they used to request the government for any reforms, whatever they wanted to have changes, so they used to request it. But the British never paid much attention to their demands because they were just requesting them. So later on, a group of radicals emerged in the Congress. They who believed in fighting for their demands. Means they thought that only requesting will not work. We should fight for our demands. And this group was led by Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandra Bal, popularly known as Lal, Bal, and Pal. They strongly believed in protest, strikes, boycotts as tools of protest against the British government. Means they started all these protests and all that they will protest against the government. Strikes were done, boycotts were done of products and all. So these were the radical groups. Then came the partition of Bengal. The British government was worried by the rising tide of nationalism. Means everywhere the nationalism was going on, and in Bengal it was in peak. The British felt threatened by the very thought of Indian getting united. So what did they do? So they decided to divide and rule. This was the policy of the British government, to divide and rule. And the Viceroy of India, Lord Curzon, decided to divide or partition of Bengal in 1905. At that time, Bengal was the center of nationalism. It was an important center of business, industries, and education. Thus, to suppress, to fail the nationalism and to weaken the economy of the British partitioned Bengal. Though the British partitioned Bengal in the name of administrative convenience, but they did not say that we partitioned it because of nationalism. They said that it was because of administrative convenience. But their main motive was to divide Hindu Muslims unity and to divert the attention of people from nationalism. The partition was meant to dilute the national unity, but it worked the other way. But it was opposite of that. And Vande Mataram, a song composed by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, was translated into English. It helped spread the feeling of nationalism. Means the feeling of nationalism was everywhere now. Okay. So this much is done. Then afterwards we will continue with the other explanation of that is the beginning of Swadeshi movement, unification of Bengal. Okay. Thank you.